Oh hey, hi, how you doing? I'm Marcus Patton, and I'm going to be drawing some video game characters in my style. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a comic book artist. I'm currently the artist for The Kindness of Killers, being released by Macosia, and you can get the first issue down below in the links. The second issue will be out soon. I've also got my own create-your-own series called Here Comes the Dragon Punch, which you can see at marcuspattondraws.com, again linked down below, where you can see some other comics and some other pin-ups. If you like what you see here, please hit like and subscribe, maybe ring that bell, and if you really like what you see and you really want to support me, Patreon and Ko-fi are a thing, and so my commissions are open, so hire me to draw you something. I'm quite good at it, I think. So one thing I should mention, there's a couple of glitches in this video, because essentially when I was drawing and recording this, I rearranged my ArtStation, and that meant that the cable that connects my terabyte disk to my main computer failed. So there's some bits missing. Basically the inking on Cubone and some of the coloring processes on Reaver. But essentially, most of the video is there, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I just want to put that out front in case you're thinking, where did all that noise go? It went nowhere. I'm going to be drawing some video game characters in my style. So the first one's going to be from the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. I'm going to be drawing Raziel. That was chosen by my brother. The second character I'm going to be doing is Cubone from Pokemon. You may have heard of it. That was chosen by some douche called Matt Taylor. And I'm going to be... the third piece I'm going to be doing is Muffet from Undertale, which was chosen by John Walsh. Raziel from the Legacy Kain Soul Reaver, a PlayStation 2 video game that I played back when I was a wee lad. For those of you who don't know, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver is an action-adventure / horror game released in 1999. Like a creepy version of Tomb Raider with horror and gothicness. There's also a game I actually played back when I was young and fancy-free. A lot of the game is the plot of the game is to get revenge on your pops after he threw you into the underworld, turning you from a sexy vampire into a sexy wraith with cheekbones you could cut glass with. The plot of the Tekken anime movie as well. It's all coming together. The Cats of Crystal Dynamics took inspiration from Blade, Interview the Vampire, Vampire Hunter D, and the works of Studio Ghibli in crafting their game, which I'm led to believe still holds up after all these years, which is great because all of them inspirations are the same inspiration that got me into creating art, so basically all this is in my wheelhouse. Not to mention that Joe Madureira drew a fucking kick-ass pin-up of it back in the day, and I love Joe Madureira, and so basically anime, video games, Joe Madureira is how we get Marcus Patton. So it's kind of an easy character to start off with, but you know, got to start somewhere. But I didn't want to just, draw Raziel, because that's not me drawing anything in my style. That's just me drawing something that I would have drawn anyway. So I did to change and make it a bit more kind of, that's his kind of vibe. So I made him more gaunt, and what I kind of do with my horror characters a lot, I made his eyes smaller and I moved them further apart. A trick I stole from Satoshi Kon. I just like the way it gives, if you want to make anything inherently more creepy, you just eyes further apart, smaller, and looking cross-eyed. Freaks me out anyway. And then I started putting more detail and lines and yonicness in the throat. So when it came to colouring, I'm trying something new. A thing I saw Mark Burnett do. Burnett, yeah. And something I've never really done before, but I'm trying to colour on just the one layer instead of having multiple layers in which you can flats and everything. It's just case like take the more of the painterly approach, just like because a painter just has the one canvas, they don't get to lay up the canvas of set, but they get to lay up with paint and everything. And so that's what I'm trying to do with this process, and that's what I'll be doing with in the rest of these videos, just to to learn how to do it and improve that kind of art side of it myself. So maybe at one point I don't even need line art, but also it makes stuff a bit quicker and everything, and because you're not getting bogged down in the process of like selecting flats and then finding out what layers on, because I'd never label my layers and stuff, and it's case getting confused with so many layers, and it as a technique for those who are getting into digital art, or who are kind of bamboozled by the whole fact that you can do everything in these art programs. I use Clip Studio Paint. This takes a lot less headspace, and is a much easier and quicker way of doing it, I find. So yeah, just and also helps improve your lasso selection, and just kind of it's just yeah. So anyway, I saw Mark Burnett do it, and I decided to give it a go. I've done it a couple of times, one of which is I did it on a comic called Where It's Welcome, which you can see up on marcuspattondraws.com, and that's an entire comic. Well, I mean, it's only 8 pages, but that's done in that style. It gives it a certain flair, because you can't be really too precise and clean with it, because paint essentially. So yeah. Anyway, here's the finished piece. I'm not too sure how I managed to achieve the thing with the background, the color. But I like how that turned out. I like how this turned out. Razel from Soul Reavers, people. Hope you dig it. Cubone from Pokemon, my personal favorite Pokemon. So, I guess I don't need to do like a history of Pokemon. I'm sure we all know what Pokemon is at this point. Like, I wouldn't tell you the origins of Spider-Man or Jesus, So let's go into my personal history of Pokemon. I was 15 when it first arrived on these shores. Pokemon arrived about 3 or so years after I discovered anime, mainly the manga entertainment VHSs that were being released, like Akira, Street Fighter 2, Yorokusaki Dojo, Devilman, the ones with all the blood, the sex, the violence, and the dubs with the kind of language that would make a sailor blush. My favorite kind of thing, sweary cartoons. Despite Pokemon's lack of all these things, I still liked it. I liked it a lot. It was great to have something that I was into all of a sudden be all over the gaff. Like, I didn't have to feel embarrassed about being into cartoons at the age of 15, Not that I was embarrassed, but I lived in Newcastle. You can be into anything in there. Such a backward town. And also I got to feel ahead of the curve, or something. It just showed me that I could be into really niche stuff, but also mainstream things. The most mainstream of mainstream things, which is an approach to me that has served me well ever since. It's much easier to find stuff that you like when you like everything. The Kevin Smith approach, I guess. Yeah. So, Cubone was always my favourite, but I haven't drawn a lot of Pokemon in my time on this blue marble, and I never really tried one in my style. The last time I drew a Pokemon, I just drew a Pokemon. I believe it was Cubone, though I deleted my Instagram, so we'll never know. Drawing animals isn't really my thing, though it wasn't my thing, though I've discovered I do quite like it, so maybe it'll be more of my thing now that I've crested 40. My initial idea was to have Cubone in a fighting pose with the trainer in the back, but that would have been just me drawing Pokemon, which is just me drawing anime, which isn't just... I already did easy mode with Soul Reaver, so there's 2 things I knew I wanted to get in this piece. I want a lot of details around the eyes and the skull, and that's where I was going to lean more of my more kind of creature horror, creepy vibes and stick them there. So I knew the character and like was going to come in that region and stuff. And then just the matter of drawing the body. Unfortunately, I started drawing this quite late at night, which is not the best time for me to use my brain. I tend not to compose late at night because I'm old and my decisions are never normally the best, and I tend to second guess myself, and instead of doing like a quick thumbnail, as I basically go in at a finished process and then rearrange and rearrange and rearrange, and essentially I make bad decisions, bad composition decisions, and bad processing decisions, and waste more of my time than if I just done it properly. I would have got it done quicker, but that's not what I decided to do, because I thought I had the initial idea, and then I thought, no, I'll change the idea, and so it's just that's a bit of my process. I shouldn't do it. So came back to it in the morning. It's why you see me jumping all over the place until we get to the morning bit where like I went from a more cartoonish character to more of a dinosaur lizard inspired kind of creature and stuff, which kind of came together, and I managed to get like the pose and everything down. And in the cold light of the morning, it was quicker and turned out better than like the dimness of the dark. Unfortunately, as I said, I didn't record the inking process, but I have recorded the coloring process, which I using the same technique as before. The way I achieved this texture was by using this spray airbrush and just adjusting the hues around and just giving it the texture that it ended up with. I liked how that works, but that's basically what I did. And then I used the lasso tool, and then I changed the brightness and saturation to achieve the shadows. Normally I would do a clip layer above it, and then I would basically what I would do is I would move the hue down like to the left and down a bit, and then I would move the color wheel further towards the bluer side of the bluer side of the wheel. That's how I normally achieve my shadows, but for this I did it this way, and then I blurred it around and gave it its character, and then I put a purple box behind it because I wanted to. Despite the rocky start, this is the finish. This is coming out all right so far, I think. Muffet from Undertale. I don't really know anything about this game other than what I gleaned from that Super Eye Patch Wolf video and Wikipedia. The reason why I chose this game is because it's pixelated and it's easy to springboard off of, and I like the look of this character. I like his videos, so hopefully he will love me too, and he'll love what I've created as an inspiration to him. That's where the John Walsh thing was, the joke earlier in the video, because that's his real name. Apparently he's not divorced. Oh, internet. So, for those who don't know, like me, Undertale is a Super Mario clone. Wait, no, sorry, I skim read that. No, is that a joke I should leave in? I don't know. No, Undertale is a pixelated existential crisis machine masquerading as a role-playing game released onto Kickstarter in 2015 by indie developer Toby. To quite the acclaim, I believe. It inspired Super Eye Patch Wolf to make said 40-minute video talking about it. It's one of his rare videos I haven't returned to since first viewing, but I'm not popular enough yet for people to respond in the comments, so I had a look at his channel for the game characters to take inspiration from. There's no point in me tackling Shamu, and I don't have it in me to draw Sonic in any other way that is basically Sonic. I ain't drawing a regular hedgehog. So I went searching on Google and I came across this GIF of Muffet, and I knew I'd found my character. If there was a character I could take and stick my stamp on it, it was this one. And I really like this bit of dialogue. Muffet traps you. Thinking about just like, ooh, here we go. I chose, drew this piece, finished this piece, and then decided to rewatch the Undertale video Mr. Superwolf made. And I had forgotten the bit where he spoke about the fandom. Apparently there is a lot of you. So if any of you rock up because of this video, because of your love for these characters and everything, which I gather is extensive, hello. My name is Marcus. Patreon and Ko-fi exist, and my commissions are open if you want me to draw any more of these characters. Or, whatever, Seems like a cool fandom to dive into, which I might very well do. So, as you can tell from the initial sketches, I was going to have Muffet with teacups and stuff and eating biscuits, but I quickly ditched that idea just to focus in on drawing her face and stuff. So, I knew I was going to have a mouth in the middle of the head and fake plastic Lego hair. The butterfly face kind of came in the design process and stuff. I wanted to keep the unpleasant mixture of creepy, buggy horror and a cute Victorian child vibe costume. And the butterfly wings hid the creature beneath. I showed the line art to a colleague of mine, and it made him properly queasy, triggered his tyrannophobia, the fear of holes together and stuff, which is nice. I've never inspired true fear in my colleagues before. With the colour scheme, I didn't really have one like the other two, so I found this palette on Pinterest of this butterfly. I like the combination of orange and I think it's teal, green, and orange means danger, green means safety and stuff. Also means repulsion. Like apparently green is the on the color spectrum is one we can see more hues of, because when you're hunting in the jungles, you need to know if that's a tiger staring at you or a leaf. Apparently purple isn't a color. We can't see it. It's a lie. I knew what Muffet was going to be the second I chose to draw her. Like, it's great to have it where it's your brain and then it's your hand, and they are perfect harmony with one another. So yeah, it's great that out of the three pieces, the one that turned out the best, I guess. So yeah, I'm really glad of how well this one turned out, even if I do say so myself. So here we go. 3 video game characters in my style. We've got Razal from Soul Reaver, Cubone from Pokemon, and Muffet from Undertale. I hope you like how they turned out. I had a lot of fun drawing it and stuff. And yeah, I'm going to probably be making more of these videos. If you have any characters you would think would go well in this, let me know in the comments below. I think next time I might tackle animated characters like from cartoon shows. So if you have any cartoons you want me to draw, just mention them below. If you like this, please click like and subscribe. Hit that bell. If you really like what I've done, Patreon and Ko-fi and my commissions exist and are open. You can read Here Comes the Dragon Punch plus some other comics at marcuspattondraws.com. You can buy some of my comics from Etsy, Ko-fi, and my mentioned website. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you. I've been Marcus Patton. You've been absolutely fantastic and classy. You're the best. You're the best. You're the absolute best. And what should I draw next?